again for another episode of Roofer Reflections. We are so happy to have Patrick joining us today. You started in sales. Was that sort of deliberate, or we
No,
sort of fell into it?
I have a long, lovely checkered past with roofing. My grandfather was actually a roofer. My father is an estimator as well. So he did the best he could to try to keep me out of roofing. So I've always been good with customer service. I started off in actually pumping gas at a full service station in my hometown when I was about 15, 16. And it kind of just developed into that, had a knack for sales. Believe it or not, just ended up becoming one of those things where my father, the company he was working for at the time, had an opportunity. And I was like, I'll give it a try, and haven't looked back since.
When you were young, you were in roofing. You got out of it for a little bit. What opportunity drew you back?
I think really it had a lot to do with health insurance and just, kind of missing a little bit of the aspect of roofing. Kind of was a customer service advisor for that small garage. I had done beer sales for Anheuser-Busch, did that for a couple months, and I came back and I was trying to get grounded, and I was like, well, I guess I know roofing a little bit, so I might as well get back into that. Your knowledge grows every day. But at the same time, it's the same yet different. So I like how no roof is the same, no project's the same.
When you were doing beer sales, did you learn anything that you still sort of kind of hold with you as sort of a advice or lesson?
Yeah. For beer sales, no one thinks like when you're selling Budweiser and Bud Light, like kind of the most recognized brand in the world. What it really ended up reinforcing and teaching was relationships. Kind of back and forth of realizing when you're talking to someone in roofing, they need the roof as a service. They don't need you as the person, but they need the service done. So what can you do just from a relationship standpoint to maintain that relationship?
In roofing, what's been your best day on the job?
Came from New England in the Connecticut region down to sunny Georgia coast. And one of the first roofs I got up on was overlooking the sea on a very prestigious island, and realizing that I didn't have to be covered in snow and shoveling off snow to get to look at a roof in 80-degree weather, I felt was pretty nice.
What are the characteristics of a great estimator?
I would say the ability to learn, the ability to think rationally and question things. Estimating becomes more of a dialogue and discussion between operations and sales, where this is how we see it versus this is what's going to happen. If I were to choose, my best characteristic of any estimator I would want is the ability to think rationally and question things. My father told me it's all about how much can a guy do in a day, and you're not Superman and you're not the laziest guy on the crew. The material doesn't magically get up there, so you have to get it up there. You got to unroll the roll. You got to get the nails out.
When someone approaches you, maybe they're not in the industry, and they're considering going into the roofing industry, what would you tell this person?
Roofing is one of the few industries that I've come across where I feel like the experience of an older generation that have been in it and like the blood, sweat, and tears they had to put in is met very equally with a newer generation in technology. So no matter what age you are, you would be able to get in this industry if you had a passion for learning.